Are there any issues with the minutes? Seeing none, the motion says, be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board adopt the minutes for the November 10th, 2020 regular meeting as presented. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Linda? Sally? All in favor? That carries. Orientation is there. I forgot to give a specific one for last meeting, and I forgot to give a specific one for this one, but we did get it in there. So we move to performance reports. And the motion says, be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board receive the performance reports for the period ending November the 30th, 2020 for information purposes. Anything about the performance reports? I will say this is not unexpectedly one of the first years I've been on the board when certain branches circulation to the end of November hasn't exceeded the circulation of the previous year. Digital is up, but just about everything else is down because branches were closed, of course.
I should pull out the stats from when I first started, because I have a feeling they might actually be comparable to that year. I'll have to have a look. They aren't as low as I thought they might have been given the circumstances.
All right, can I have a mover and a seconder to receive the performance reports, please? Andrea? And Liz? All in favor? County Librarians Report. Be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board receives the County Librarians Report for the period ending November the 30th, 2020. Any questions for Aaron? Aaron, did you have anything you wanted to highlight?
No, well, yeah, we hired our 2 new hires, which is great. So that helps us staff the branches, and they can work at any branch as needed. And we did have a staff member return from leave, so that's excellent. So yeah.
So now there are only 2 staff members that are on leave? Or still 3?
3. There were 4 before. There were before 2 admin and 2 branch, and now there's 1 admin and 2 branch on leave.
You mentioned that oh no, there's no change. Sorry, never mind. Can I have a mover and a seconder to accept the County Librarians Report? Liz and Linda, thank you. All in favor? That carries. Next is the Branch Services Librarians Report. The motion reads, be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board receives the Branch Services Librarians Report for the period ending November the 30th, 2020 for information purposes. Are there any questions for Aaron or statements? Aaron, was there anything you wanted to highlight?
The curbside service has started off quite well. We started the 2nd week of November, and in talking to
in Cardiff, Goodrem, and Highland Grove.
That's right, yes. And that's been very welcomed by the patrons there, which is fantastic. And we continue to be pretty reasonably busy in terms of walk-in traffic, and which is so yeah, I think people are happy to receive the services that they're getting right now. And I just keep watching all the different changes with our various public health officials to make sure that we're supposed to do.
Aaron, you're glitching out a bit. I think we got most of that. Andrea?
You're lagging, as they say. So you're kind of frozen there. I don't know if you can hear Erin, but Al, just to comment in terms of I was going to ask Erin if she's able to comment, but it's not critical. That
I wonder if we should just wait and see if Erin is actually on or not.
Yeah, because she's our administrator of the meeting, isn't she?
Yeah.
It was just over keeping track of the walk-in. Is someone on the circulation desk actually going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and counting? And remember, we had when we were first opening branches, we had concern about the time limit that people were going to be allowed to spend in the branch. Are you able to hear Erin?
Am I unfrozen for everyone now?
Yeah, yeah, it's still lagging. It's still kind of funny.
Maybe turn your video off. It'll use less bandwidth. We can hear you fine.
Great.
All right. Hopefully that's better.
Well, yes, I can definitely hear you. So it's just the 2 little comments. One is about the walk-in numbers. And is there someone at the circulation desk actually sort of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and counting as people come in? And was when we first opened the branches when we were sort of allowed to, and we had concerns that people wouldn't have enough time in the branch, and how would you ask someone to leave? And I'm just wondering if that's an issue, or people just spending an appropriate amount of time finding what they need and then being on the computer and then leaving.
So yes, we do have staff counting walk-ins. We count them based on the hour. So we know who is coming in hour 1, or we know how many came in for hour 1, hour 2, so forth and so on for the duration of the shift. It's good because it gives us an idea of what the walk-in traffic is like within that hour as well. The time limits really have not been an issue. People have been really great about respecting those time limits. We're not following people around with a stopwatch, obviously. So, if they're going to take an extra few minutes, we're not going to be like, nope, out you go. We don't do that. But yeah, people have been quite respectful of that and have been managing that quite well. So I'm pleased with how things are going so far.
There are no numbers for curbside service in Dysart, Minden, and Wilberforce. Was that because nobody requested it when they could come right in, or is it? Are you not advertising that it's available, or is it no longer available, or?
It's still available. People can do curbside by request at those branches, but people seem to be opting to come in, which is fine too. We wanted to make sure we didn't take that away from people who maybe were at higher risk, for instance, and weren't comfortable with going into public spaces yet. So it's still there for them if they need it, but just no one's been taking advantage of that right now.
Liz?
I'm just wondering with respect to the time frame. So how long are we allowing people to A, be in the library, and B, use the computers?
We are asking people to limit their visit to 20 minutes. And so far that's been manageable, and that's the same with the computers as well. So again, so far this hasn't been an issue. And I think if there are specific circumstances in which someone needs a different level of service, that's something they can certainly talk to us about, and we can try and figure out for them if there's some one-off situations that need to be addressed. But so far it's been okay. So
Hasn't been an issue as in no complaints, or hasn't been an issue as in you haven't carried anybody out by their toes?
Either. There's been no complaints and we haven't, there's been no complaints from patrons actually using the service. We were questioned on it at the very beginning, but we haven't been pushed on it.
Seeing nothing else for Aaron, can I have a mover and a seconder to accept the report? Lisa? And Andrea, thank you. All in favor? And that carries. Next is financial. The motion says, be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board receives the expenditure statement for the period ending November the 30th. I want to thank Andrea for bringing it up and Aaron for fixing it. This is a lot cleaner report to look at
No problem.
than with the 50,000 duplicate lines. Does anyone have anything?
Well, we seem to be doing well.
Andrea?
I just maybe we can find out with the treasurer, with Elaine at the county, is if we need a resolution if we are underspent. So, if, which it's looking like we're probably going to be, we need a resolution to ask that to be carried forward in a reserve. So we don't need to worry about it right now. It's not until the January board meeting that we should probably be doing that. We have to finish the calendar year, but
And what that wording should be.
What that wording should be, and should we have a resolution? So I don't know if Aaron, through you, are you able to contact Andrea or not Andrea, I mean Elaine, our treasurer, and ask her if we need any resolution for surplus. Generally, we're not in a surplus. Generally, we're within $1,000 or $2,000, but I would suggest looking at the numbers for different reasons that we're going to be in a surplus.
And
Yes.
we're going to need the money.
I can look at, I believe there was one other instance, maybe 2018, when we were in a similar position as we are now. So I can find that resolution, and I'll take it to Elaine to make sure that it's still the proper wording for the board.
Great. So for our January meeting, that would be great to address that. That's all.
Absolutely.
Anything else for financial? Can I have a mover and a seconder to receive the expenditure statement? Andrea and Sally, all in favor? And that carries. Next is library policies. And the first one is, be it resolved, the motion says, be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board adopt policy BL02, composition of the board. This one represents a change in wording. I don't know if it's the right solution or not, but this policy's been on my list to do our very last year of this term, and due to the year that was 2020, we had to put back some of the policies that needed a little bit more background research and work. And so when we had our policy committee meeting, this was one of the ones that was bumped up forward. And I think I thought a lot about this one after we had our policy committee meeting, because I couldn't quite figure out how it ended up in the state that it was in. And I think the premise when we wrote it in 2011, wow, 9 years ago, was that the library board would make a recommendation on the public members of the board, but we wouldn't try to tell county council how to deal with their appointments. And so what we did in 2011 was we just sort of assumed the county process would continue forever, and then tacked on 4 people to the 5 members of county. And anyway, it turned out that when the county process changed, there was a little bit of us sort of telling the county, you have to do this. And anyway, this is an attempt to try to rectify that. We are recommending 4 public members, and we basically have no recommendation on what county council does. except that 1 is the legal minimum and 5 is the legal maximum if you have 4 public members, according to the Library Act. You have to have at least 1 counselor, and you can't have more than a bare majority in a county system. Andrea, did I sort of,
Yes, no,
and
you did.
Sally, was that kind of what we talked about?
Yeah, because Sally and myself were on the policy committee and we talked about this. And one of the things that it's trying to, like Ruben said, not force the county to say we must have this many bodies. It's respecting the fact that we all have, as county councillors, busy and time-consuming schedules and might conflict. As well, we go back to meeting in person. It might be onerous, even just physically getting to the times of our meetings. So it's giving the warden, who generally appoints the committee members, and those committee members who are on county council, a little bit of leeway to say, you know, maybe this is the year we only have 3 county councillors on the library board, just because that's who wants to be on the library board, and that's who's interested in being on it, and that's who's available to be on it. So it very likely could stay exactly the same as it is. It's just giving flexibility. So that's, I think, really important.
Liz, you had something?
I'm running it through my head. You know, I think that part of the thinking is that you know, the funding and representatives of where the funding comes from, and I think it had been the goal of ensuring that there was a representative from each of the 4 municipalities, because each of the municipalities, you know, offers facilities and a variety of types of help, which we need to iron that out in our lease agreements. I guess, I don't know. I know Carol commented that she thought that the policy should say that there would be one county council representative from each municipality, each member municipality. But that's up to county council, I guess, to decide. I don't know. I find this a little interesting. I don't think anybody's ever suggested that there wouldn't be 4 members, at least 4 members of county council on the board.
And Liz, I don't think we were trying to suggest this. I think this can stay exactly the same if county council wants to continue that way. Sally, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just reiterating basically because I am on the policy committee, it gives just a slight bit of flexibility on a year-to-year basis or term-to-term basis. So it does not preclude that there would not be a representative from each township. It's just a bit of wiggle room if a particular term there needs to be a bit of a change. So that's all. It's just a bit more flexibility. And certainly, if the status quo remains, then that's what it remains. But it just is a little bit of flexibility moving on in the future.
Andrea.
Thanks, Sally. And I think while it's been the past history is to have one from each township, it's not necessary, because when you serve on the library board, I have to think of it as a whole library system and a county system. And just the same as when I'm sitting at county council, my qualification to be there is because I'm mayor of Dicer, but I am a county councillor. So, you know, I think that we've had that geography set, but it isn't necessary. Same as the members of the public, they're representing the county. We don't necessarily have members of the public and designate where they are geographically. We have to have that. So it's the same thing. Back to Liz, it's just
do that.
Pardon me?
It did used to be in the past that the public.
Well, it's not. Yeah, we're not supposed to. It's supposed to be you represent. You're a member of the public, and you need to have a qualifying address to be able to be on the board, and you have to be over 18, I believe, and that's about the qualifications. So and so all this is getting flexibility. We don't know that in the future, 2021 or 2022 or beyond, that a warden might go talk to the different county councillors and say, you know, do you want to be on the library board? And someone's not able to be, or someone's not interested in it, or it's deemed that these are the 3 best county councillors, or another year it says up to 5. So I believe in the, you know, like you as warden have attended, and lots of times, my whole other time on the library board, the warden came maybe once a year to sort of pop in and say hello. So it's all it's doing is giving flexibility that in the event of a year where, you know, the county councillors, there's 3 out of the 8 that really want to be on the library board, then they'll be appointed to the library board. But
I
it's
think
not
we're
forcing.
sort of getting into a discussion that really should be taking place at the county as opposed to here.
No, that the library board sets the policy for the composition, and the county appoints the people. So this conversation should happen here.
Here and there. I mean, we're mixing it.
Yeah.
We're talking about some of the things that county council might want to do. I'm not, I mean, Carol was the one who said that she thought that it should say one member from each, 4 members of county council and 1 from each municipality. But really, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the wording here. I guess what I'm saying is that what you're mixing a discussion that we would have at county council about how we might have our coverage with, you know, what we're putting in our policy here. And between 1 and 5 members of county council, I guess, works. It's rare that you would actually have 5 members of county council here.
Sally?
Yeah, again, it's just making it a bit more flexible, and that's all. It's not precluding whatever county council decides. It just is a bit more of a flexible policy to fill those positions.
I think we'll take a vote and see how it goes unless somebody has something else. I do need a mover and a seconder.
I'll move.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Lisa. So be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board adopt policy BL02, composition of the board. All in favor? And that carries. And the next one, meetings of the board, is BL5. The resolution says, be it resolved, I'm running out of gas today, sorry. The resolution says, be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board adopt policy BL05, meetings of the board. And the changes to this one are all to reflect what we're already doing due to COVID. Which is to say that there was no provision in policy for a meeting like the one we're currently having, and we're trying to allow the policy to catch up. Does anyone have anything about meetings of the board? Andrea?
Just, I think it's really important to note that, like under 4A, when we first brought a policy forward that people could, you know, teleconference in, that any additional members, like say there was more than 2, so that 3rd person calling in could be in the meeting, but they're not counted as quorum. And now we're all counted as quorum in this electronic format. If you're available to be either by phone or video, that is counted. So that's important.
Sally?
And moving forward, I mean, it's things like making this easier for people to attend meetings in the middle of winter. If you live in Oxtown, you don't have to drive all the way down to Dysart. If you may not own a car, which would limit your ability to be on the library committee if you had to drive to a meeting all the time. So it really opens it up and makes it more accessible for people to participate, and reduces the carbon footprint. Potentially.
All right, can I have a mover and a seconder?
Hang on.
Oh, sorry, Liz, go ahead.
Number 5B, do you really need to have 2 regulars? Isn't it sufficient to say the order of business for all regular meetings will be, as opposed to saying the regular order of business for all regular meetings?
Oh, Regular meetings is a term that we use because we have to schedule regular meetings. So the library board can only have regular meetings or special meetings. We were trying to indicate that there is some flexibility in the order with the second regular, the first regular.
How about the
I don't know if
usual
there's a
order?
better
The usual
word.
order of business. The usual order of business for all regular meetings.
Does that help, Liz?
It means that the chair could say, we have to
I
bring
know what it
item.
means.
Yeah,
I just get
yeah,
carried away with regular and regular.
Yeah,
and
it does. It does
I
sound
agree.
odd.
we needed it. Whatever.
but
Let's-
usual?
Yeah, if you want, I'm sure.
Usual is better than regular.
I wouldn't
I
put
think.
any word in there, but
Seems
whatever.
redundant, but whatever. That's what I'm the same.
All right. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Linda, thank you. And Andrea, all in favor? Municipal update roundtable is next. Do any of the municipal councilors or you, Liz, as warden, do you have anything that you would like to tell us? No? Working committee reports.
Well, I would.
Oh, sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
Okay, just for Minden Hills, I would just like to say that we had our first budget meeting and I brought all of the deficiencies that had been mentioned by Aaron to the budget meeting and made them aware. So, wish they were aware, but I wanted to reiterate it that I was also aware.
The list was a little embarrassing, to tell you the truth.
It was, and I said that, Liz. That's exactly what I said. I said it's embarrassing that this is kind of coming around again, and it's, some of these are from a year ago, so let's get at it.
Right on.
Thank you, Lisa.
Working committees report. We haven't had any committees since the update at the last meeting. Linda, can you let us know when the Friends have something to report? I don't know if they have anything right today, but
I certainly will let you know at this point, with the changeover to a new president and something and other members, there hasn't been too much to report on.
Who's the new president? Sorry, didn't mean to ask a trick question.
My mind's gone blank. I have to look at my minutes.
It's a
Sorry.
gentleman.
It's okay. It's Stephen Mills.
There you go.
Stephen, yes.
Stephen Mills.
Yeah, Stephen Mills.
next up is the summary of responses from the end of year self-evaluation. Motion says, be it resolved that the Haliburton County Library Board receives a summary of responses for the board end of year self-evaluation. It doesn't say for information purposes. That's where it stops.
Oh, sorry. Should I have put that or?
It's what it usually says,
Uh,
but we'll go with what it says for right now and see if anybody has a problem with it.
okay.
Could we say for information purposes and consideration in our upcoming year?
I'm a typer and I'm writing this, so you gotta
Okay.
give me. For information purposes. What was the rest of it, Liz? I'm sorry. It was
I
really
think I
good.
said in consideration in 2021.
And consideration in 2021. Go away, we're in a meeting. Can I have a mover and unless there's somebody wants to comment further on that, can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Liz and Lisa, thank you. All in favor? And one last thing, just before. Sorry, you didn't want to hear that message. Or they didn't want it broadcast over the internet, whatever. Just one more thing before we do the adjournment, and that is my term as chair is finished. Technically, I'm chair until the first meeting in January. Aaron or whoever, or Bessie, or whoever's CEO or acting CEO at the time will start the meeting. Unfortunately, I am unable to be board chair or vice chair next year. I just wanted to say thank you very much to the board. It was a tremendous honor to be asked to do this. And thank you to the staff. I know 2020 was 2020, but you guys rose to the challenge. Sorry, Liz, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you, Ruben. You know, it has been a difficult year for everyone. It's been challenging for you chairing the library board. And I would say on behalf of us all, we really appreciate the work that you've done. There's no question about that. Just for clarification, your term is not actually, I don't understand that your term is actually up. I thought that you're actually appointed chair for the term of council, not for a year. I think I saw that somewhere in the last little while. But either way, it's the same. The bottom line is the same. If you feel that you can't continue, we need to do something about it.
And I did want to give the board a bit of notice. I think, and now, and I could be wrong, but I think we had talked about changing the policy that the library board chair is a one-year appointment because the county was doing an experiment with a 2-year. And I think we ultimately said we have to wait and see what the county did, and then we would mirror what the county did. So I think our policy still says the chair is 1 year, even if it hasn't been the practice to change the chair every year. As you said, it's moot because I can't continue.
Well, you're the policy guy, so.
Last up is be it resolved that the December 8th, 2020 regular meeting of the Haliburton County Library Board now adjourn. If there's nothing else, can I have a mover and a seconder, please?
I think Andrea wants to say something first.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to say thank you also, Ruben, for that. And I think the chair, and maybe Aaron, you can check back with previous minutes or through our policy, that the chair is appointed every year at the January meeting. But we had such a long-standing chair for for several terms, three like 12 years or something. Yeah,
Something like that.
Something like that. And then I was chair for members of the public are appointed for the term of council, but the chair position changes on the yearly basis. But anyway, it's moot because Ruben is stepping down, so we will have to consider at the January meeting. But thank you so much, Ruben. You've been fabulous this year. And before we adjourn, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody and see you all be safe and all of that jazz.
Aim to everyone. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Moved by Linda. Can I have a seconder for our adjournment? Sally? All in favor of adjourning? And shocker, that one carries. Thank you very much, folks. And unless something changes, we'll see you in 2021.
Thank
Okay.
Thank you.